Hey, how are you? Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
I was muted. Sorry about
Perfect.
that.
All right, that's okay. Classic mistake.
Yeah. And I'm running a little behind, so I apologize about that as well.
Yeah, no worries. I'll try to keep you quick because I know you have so many of these and you're probably answering the same question like 50 times. So,
Oh, yeah. Good
so to
though.
start with, how
Mhm.
exciting is this fight week going to be for you? I mean, this is a whole new thing for you, right?
Yeah, this whole process, not even the fight week, the whole process has been exciting. Knowing I'm getting this title shot, having it announced. I think this is my first poster, like every little thing in Bellator here. It's all work towards this. I've been in countless number one contender fights and co-main events and stuff like that, working towards this opportunity. An opportunity I didn't think really was going to come with how Pitbull's whole last year looked, and then the champ versus champ thing, and that's why I was moving on and getting that fight with Gallagher was the next logical step. But then to get switched back to what I've been already working for all year has just been like a dream come true.
You know, they have a saying in dating. They're like, when you stop looking, they show up. It's kind of like with title fights. When you stop looking for it, it shows up.
Totally. I think that's like probably the most real in this scenario. Like I had officially thought like, okay, I've got to go earn this title shot again. And right when I was preparing to do that, it was given to me. So yeah, definitely that.
Can you tell me a little bit about the moment that you found out that it was going to be for the title and it was going to be Pitbull?
Yeah, so it was I guess it would have been the Friday over in Saudi Arabia, like their weigh-ins. So it was Thursday night back here in Vegas, and I was like almost going. I was getting ready to go to bed, and my manager Ali, he Facetimed me, and again it was like 11:30 at night, and I was like, I'll just call him in the morning. I was literally about to fall asleep, and I was like, probably something's going on. So I answered, and then first thing he said is like, "Would you be ready for 5 rounds? Um, would you be willing to fight Pitbull?" And I was like, "That's not even a question, of course, And there was obviously still work that had to be done. That was just right when it happened. That was Bellator's plan was to get Pitbull rebooked when he wasn't able to compete. It was honored that I was the thought, and that just the timing actually worked out. I was definitely the logical step to make to have him fight. And so I hung up, woke up my wife, even called my parents, and it was like 11 at night. I was like, hey, because they were coming to Belfast regardless. So I was just telling them about the switch up, my wife too, and then I still didn't know if it was 100%. That was just the idea. I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning to it's a done deal. I got my title shot and everything. It was just like surreal. It took me like probably 2 to 3 days to actually like grasp that I wasn't fighting Gallagher anymore and to shift gears to Pitbull. But yeah, it was an easy transition because I spent the whole last year anticipating a title shot and training for Pitbull, game planning with all my different coaches. That it was a matter of a simple text, to my boxing coach. I sent him a picture of Pitbull, and then he's like, "Okay, we're back to work." And the next day, we already had our routes and our game plan all figured out. So it wasn't like a big, rally the troops and figure this whole thing out in 4 weeks and build a game plan. And I was already in shape, an extra 2 rounds. I had another month for to up the workload. And I had a game plan already prepared for a whole year we've been working on. So like I said, a very easy transition and just best case scenario.
What sort of fight are you expecting from him? Obviously, I don't want your game plan, but what do you do you anticipate it being 5 rounds, or do
I,
you think it's going to be a quick fight?
I think um, I'm not very good at predictions of like just because the fight can go so many different ways. But I do feel like I'm gonna put him away. Third, fourth round as the fight plays out a little bit. Just these last few years, you see he comes out pretty safe. In his last few fights, he's very labored and gets his reads and doesn't do too much output in the first early round or two. So to try to force a finish, I'm gonna have to play that game. That it's a 5 round fight, so I can't go guns blazing, expecting to get him out of there in the first, and then come the fourth and the fifth, he's still there. So I have to be technical in my approach, but I also think that when I get a hold of him and the size difference and my pressure and my style, that it will wear him down, and I just think the finish will come regardless. You know, towards the end of the fight,
And
midway to towards the end.
I know you don't want to look past him,
No,
because that's a dangerous thing to do, but you also got to think of there's a lot of unknowns with this Bellator PFL thing, what's going on, especially in the sense of a champion. So do
Yeah.
you know what the game plan is? If you become champion, what the next step is? Do you see yourself defending in Bellator or going and doing a champ or taking your belt and doing the tournament? I mean, there's like, what do you do?
I mean, yeah, there's so many options that winning this title, winning this belt is just the first thing I have to get done. And that's really all I'm focusing on. And of course I'm thinking past, and it's not overlooking him. I fully expect to win, so all of my thoughts mean nothing if I don't get the job done, but they're still thoughts and they're still there, So Bellator just came out with their whole schedule. So I definitely see myself getting another one in this year before. I don't know what the plan for Bellator is as the years go on, 2025, 2026, but definitely winning this title and defending it. And I mean, yeah, it's hard if there's PFL options there to have cross fights like the PFL pay-per-view against a big name PFL guy or their champion or Pinedo if he's not in the tournament and he's healthy. And yeah, there's so many that it's exciting. I can't even think about what would be the next. I just know that this win brings so many more opportunities. So that's more what I'm looking at is just the opportunities of this win, the money, the difference, the title, the defenses, the resume, all of it.
And I know you've already done the PFL thing quite
Yeah.
differently, but would you be open to going into a season? Is that something that it excites you? Or I mean, I know at a certain level you kind of it feels like too much or too, what are your thoughts on just the season format?
Yeah, I mean the season format's great if that's what I've done it before and I know what to expect and I could do it again. But with this title, if they're offering me, hey, you can defend your belt twice a year, every 6 months, and you get my proper camps, like everything matters at the top. With the weight cut it's a science. I need proper time and recovery in between, and so the smartest decision obviously is win this fight and have big fights. Every twice a year or whatnot. But I mean, if that PFL becomes an option and that's what it is, and that's what I feel is the next best step. If I want to get a bunch of fights in a year, or that million is really enticing, I can definitely do that again. I'd be excited for that. But as of right now, just the position I've put myself in, I feel like there's better opportunities with a win, on the 22nd.
And you mentioned that Bellator already released their dates and most of their locations. Is there a location that kind of excites you the most or a date?
So I was looking at the timeline of it, and realistically, having one on the state side would be nice. So I think it was California in September. That would be a good one. But I saw there was a TBA on the December 31st, and I got to imagine that's Japan, and that has been my goal. So I would definitely try to contest hard for that, to go over there and fight. I mean, even if they don't end up letting me fight there, I'll just go there anyways.
Go watch.
To fight there though. So again, that's a TBA. I don't know. That's the higher ups, but I just have a feeling the date and the timing of everything just seems like that would be a cool one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is going to be somewhere overseas like that. And Japan would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time and I will let you get to your other interviews and good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Have a great day. Bye-bye.